Well, it's Wednesday, and you all know what that means. As you know, AEW Dynamite. We have some very interesting matches taking place. As you know, Will Ospreay teams up with members of the conglomerate to take on the BCC and Pac, and of course, we have various other things as well. Not to mention Hangman Page, and of course, Swerve Strickland signing the contract for their upcoming steel cage match in Chicago for All Out. But however, the ending has become a very, very interesting storyline, and I don't think anybody wants to miss it. And of course, we end our episode because we're only going to do one review for today. We are going to end it with our news updates to give you guys updates of what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is the channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can put it on the next episode or on a separate video by itself. We also got real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also got the Unagi Sayaka watch and various other cool things as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions are set aside. It's time to hit the road. So let's begin, of course, with our only review for today, and that is, of course, AEW Dynamite. Okay, AEW Dynamite. It opened up with Daniel Garcia was about to do a promo. However, MJF showed up, and of course they had their words of exchange and all this. While MJF is protected by security, and of course Daniel Garcia is unhinged in order to get his hands on him. Now he did try to run once the how do I say, the time attacks are over. So he went up there to try to get his hands on him. He had to go through security, but by the time he got to him, well, MJF, with his usual ways, he whacked Garcia with the glass bottle and sending him a direct message. So we will see what happens. So as you know, this coming Sunday is All Out, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Now we do see a little interview with Renee Paquette talking with the conglomerate along with Ospreay, and of course with Mark Briscoe with his usual words of wisdom of what he had to say. He was talking about how, of course, this whole thing about having Will Ospreay teaming up with the conglomerate was the whole thing. So I thought it was a pretty good, fun thing to watch. Now, our first match of the day is for the AEW Continental Championship. We have Kazuchika Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. Now, we cannot deny the fact that Kyle Fletcher is a really good wrestler. I mean, we saw that he's improving a lot since a singles wrestler. But, of course, we do not deny Okada's, his ways of wrestling, which is something we've often talked about and seen in the past. But however, in this case, it was of course Okada where he decided to play dirty by using the ref, and then he low blowed Kyle Fletcher and then did the Rainmaker in order to pick up the win. However, of course, um, Konosuke Takeshita showed up. Apparently, Takeshita will be involved later on at some point for a number one contender sit for the Continental Championship. So that's something we probably will see and wait. Now, earlier in the week, Swerve received news that he has regained his childhood home, all thanks to Prince Nana for what he did for him. As you know, I thought it was a real nice thing for him to do. Now, our next match, Jamie Hayter, as you know, she made her return back in All In. She's on a mission to get her hands on Saraya for putting her out of action nearly a year. But now she has to contend with Robin Renegade. But of course, Saraya and Harley Cameron were watching in the back in the monitor to see what's going to happen. Well, as you can guess, Jamie Hayter took out Robin Renegade with the Haterade, and just like that, it was over. Now, recently, as you all know, there was a moment that happened where Hook did the red rum on Roderick Strong. However, referee did not see that Roderick Strong's foot was on the rope. So basically, they're trying to protest to reverse the process. However, it's impossible now that the ref called it. However, of course, Hook decided to say, I saw exactly what you're talking about. I agree. So he was deciding that he was going to put the FTW championship on the line. However, Roderick Strong felt that he's going to do that under his own time, his own rules. So basically, we'll keep an eye on that. Now, recently we've been seeing certain changes coming from Jon Moxley, and then of course teaming up with Marina Shafir. Now, we don't know, once again, they were causing chaos in the back, and then they run into the Elite. But for some odd reason, Jon Moxley said to Jack Perry that he's a sweet guy, right. But however, he made his way to the ring. We don't know what's going on, but once again, he's been searching for Darby Allin. We don't know what's the significance of him searching. So he said, I just want to talk. That's it. So that is remain unclear. Why is he searching for him? What is it that he wants to talk to him? But we will see what happens until then. Now, we do see an interview with, of course, Renee Paquette talking to Jericho along with his minions of the Learning Tree, talking about, of course, Orange Cassidy. Of course, Jericho said that Orange Cassidy still owed him $7,000 for the jacket that he destroyed with Lemons. However, he said he was going to send the Big Apple to deal with them. But however, Orange Cassidy decided to tell him, give him a message. If you beat me, I'll give him $7,000. So basically, it was like, what the hell just happened? So Jericho had no idea that this was going to happen. But we will see where that goes. Now, our next match, we have, of course, the AEW Women's World Title. Our newly crowned champion, Mariah May, puts her belt on the line against a former AEW World Champion and the second ever Nyla Rose. So that plays out pretty well. Now, of course, we ask ourselves how she will do against a former champion. I'd say she did pretty good, but however, she seems like she still wants to, of course, send a message or try to claim that she owned it. She even applied the Storm Zero on Nyla Rose to pick up the win. Now, Deonna Purrazzo, as you know, we haven't seen her since she had that Texas Bull Rope match with Thunder Rosa. However, she put out a vignette about this is just the beginning and it's going to be a reboot. So basically what happened in the last few months, it's going to be an end and restart again. So I don't know what she meant by that, but we will see where that goes. Now, Mercedes Moné, as you know, she will be facing Hikaru Shida in All Out. So basically, she had some things to say. However, Hikaru Shida also had a message for her, but this time she wasn't alone. So she had help from, of course, Christopher Daniels, who's been helping Tony Khan recently. And apparently she has banned Camille from ringside. So this is the last thing that they didn't expect. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. Now, as you know, the Elite has one thing in mind. Ever since now, as you know, the Bucks have the AEW Tag Team titles, Jack Perry the TNT title, and of course, Kazuchika Okada the AEW Continental title. The one thing that they want is the AEW World title back where it rightfully belongs. So Jack Perry decided to send a direct message to Bryan Danielson. So basically, we will see what happens. So that's something we will pay attention to. Now, before the main event, Bryan Danielson, of course, makes his way to the commentary to watch his teammates to be in a match. So it's the BCC, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli teaming up with the Bastard Pack to take on the conglomerate, Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy, along with Will Ospreay. Now, of course, there are some dynamics in this one, not to mention um, Will Ospreay and Pac. They will have their match for the AEW International Championship. That's something that's going to be on their minds. But however, the match focused on that. But it was Claudio Castagnoli who picked up the win on O'Reilly, and just like that, it was over. However, while Bryan Danielson made his way to the ring to celebrate with his buddies, the entire BCC, with the exception of Pac, who was still dealing with Ospreay, actually the Elite attacked them and they decided to beat the crap out of him, and then they overturned it. However, Claudio thought that why not put those tag team titles on the line against them and All Out. So they probably will happen, and it's already been official. However, of course, we did see Will Ospreay and Pac go in the back, but Pac actually put him out of his misery when he did a brainbuster onto him, a bunch of boxes. So basically, that's what took place. Now, we were expecting, of course, a contract signing for the steel cage match. However, while Swerve was waiting, we did not know where Hangman Page was, but apparently he found something to break Swerve Strickland. So basically, he told him, "You slip up. You're a hard person to find." But what could be more important than his childhood home? So he found out that found the childhood home of Swerve. So he had a little chat and tell him that, his father never loved him and all this, which was agitating, of course, Swerve. And then, of course, the thing that became clear that he had to make a decision, and his decision was, justice, vengeance, hate, because Swerve was trying to tell him, "Hey, just do the right thing and be with your family. That's where you need to be." However, Hangman was not going to do that, so he's been deranged about finding a way to hurt, of course, Swerve, and he found it, and he burned, of course, his home, and of course, Swerve was like crying, like he can't believe that this happened, that he should have seen this one coming. However, you did hear some chants that were saying, "This is arson. This is arson." Well, it is. So basically, we will see what happens at Steel Cage. Now, it was foretold that the Steel Cage match for Swerve and Hangman Page, it will be a main event at All Out, and also it was told it's going to be unsanctioned. So there's just going to be chaotic, blood, whatever they're going to do. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope every one of you are too. So for right now, we'll just end things here with AEW and move on with some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is what we have. So for our upcoming events, we have two coming from GCW. The G Code, which is going to take place in Rochester, New York on the 15th of September. It was announced that there's going to be a tag match. Madman Pondo teaming up with Too Tough Tony. They take on the High Seas. And then, of course, on the 21st of September at Hartford, Connecticut, back-to-back, it was announced that Richard Holiday will be in action to take on Marcus Mathers. MLW has their next upcoming event, Fightland, that will take place on the 19th of September. It was announced that there's going to be an Opera Cup tournament. It's going to be, of course, Kenta versus Misiko in the semifinals. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, finally, as you know, we have the revival of Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling in Canada for the Forge of in Excellence. It's going to take place on the 19th and 20th of October. They just announced that Don Callis will be there. He will be joining the commentary team with Maru Ranallo. So it's very exciting. So that's pretty much what we have for upcoming events. So let's talk about certain developments. It was told by New Japan Pro Wrestling that Yuya Uemura, his tricep injury, he will last until 6 months. So he will be out from that. He'll be back, hopefully 100%. Now, many of you remember during a news update, Amel talked about a guy named Tristan Archer who abused her and all this, and many promotions have been taking measures to do something about it. Some are trying to keep him in line, but amongst them is the promotion from France called APC, which I saw once before, which features um, Mustafa Ali. But this is their statement regarding about him. Following the recent events after the deliberation in the members of the APC and management, it was decided that Tristan Archer will not be appearing the organization's upcoming shows. So basically, they made the decision that this was the right one to do. So I don't blame them whatsoever. Now, Kevin Kelly, as you all know, you may have heard that he is filing a lawsuit against AEW, but he's not the only ones who are the Take Twins, who were known as the Boys. This is what, of course, JR put on his podcast regarding about. When you sign your contract, you agree to the terms, and that would include being an independent contractor. The plaintiffs will run out of money before Tony Khan does. I don't hold out much hope they're going to get all kinds of settlement, whatever, but maybe I'm wrong. So, and then there's another statement regarding that. Let me pull that up too. This one was from another group. They're saying that seeking to avoid the adverse clause of the talent contract, as well requesting court certified class action lawsuit against AW, claims that the company is misclassifying talent as independent contractors rather than employees. So yeah, but we will see what happens. We don't know much what's gonna go from there, so we'll keep an eye on this one very closely as we go. RevPro recently was in the spotlight. They talked about something very interesting about why did they partner up with WWE, and they said that they had an option to, there was a possibility that they would have bought them off. I mean, I wouldn't hold it against them. That would have been obvious. And this is what, what's his name? Andy Quelden, the owner of the promotion, this is what he said. I wouldn't say we didn't want to work with them. I think we had very much on the table the table for us to work with them. I like to say partnership have two-sided. It's a loan deal. I forgot how it was in term, like loan your footage or X account at the time of the network, and in the end of term of the contract, they had the option to buy, but it's like option to buy the footage, no, the whole promotion. So I don't think it's a bit oblique when you get to that stage. So basically, they were believing that they could have been bought off by WWE, and they would have. I don't know exactly what they would have done, but yes, there's that. Now, Mayu Iwatani has recently been talking. She just recently talked about her retiring from the 5-star Grand Prix. She's not going to participate anymore in the tournaments. This is what she says. This year it was the top condition, gave it all, yet I lost. I don't know I'll be better conditioned next year than I was this year, because I have so much strong feelings this year. I will not be appearing the 5-star next year. I will be retiring from the 5-star. So yeah, she was saying that she was willing to defend the belt, the IWGP Women's belt, against Azumi Maika, but this is what she had to say. I won't be satisfied until I get revenge, even if it means putting the belt on the line. But because I lost, I'm not positioning to nominate Azumi-chan and or Maika. So they are good in condition and want to challenge me. Please let me know. Anytime is fine. So yeah, we'll see where that leak goes. She even talked about facing Chihiro Hashimoto and Veni. It made me realize that they are such amazing people out there. I was knocked unconscious by those two, and I was able to feel again how amazing women's professional wrestling is. Hashimoto is a monster. Veni has an amazing physical ability. You can just say it's your shell in stardom. And then, of course, she talks about defending the IWGP Women's Championship and network increase its value on both inside and outside of Stardom. And this is what she said about it. I need to spread more and more to make people think the Stardom is amazing. I have to see their shows. I will accept any challenge anytime from anywhere. I'm always waiting. So yeah, so she'll be waiting for. I wouldn't be surprised if Benny or Big Hash will challenge her. So we'll see where that leads. So I think that's pretty much it. What we have with, of course, with our episode. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up after this, I will be doing, of course, the Unagi Sayaka watch, which has been a while. So this one's going to be a bit more longer due to the fact I have to catch up to what matches she's done. This goes back all the way from June, and we'll go from there. And of course, a lot of things have happened throughout the entire time. Now, as for our next episode, we will focus on TNA and Ring of Honor. I haven't decided if there's going to be other reviews after that, so we'll see what happens from here on out. We'll go from there. But until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.